FENRA, Wolf of the End Times, is the latest champion for GODTEAR by Steamforged Games, and she'll be available in April. However, I've managed to tame the beast a little bit early, and I'm here to let you know just what you can expect from her. FENRA is a Maelstrom champion, and for those new to GODTEAR, this means she gains an extra step on the battle ladder every time she takes out an enemy follower. Her actions, abilities, and those of her followers, the Chainless Curse, are very much aimed at this, so you shouldn't have too much trouble thinning down your opponent's support. Starting with FENRA herself, she's not too quick on the plot phase with a movement of only 1, which sees her slowly stalking her prey. However, in the clash phase, she has a movement of 4, which means she'll be very quickly pouncing into attack. With a dodge stat of 5, she's not too easy to hit. However, if you do manage to do so, she only has a protection of 1 and only 5 health, which means you won't be wanting to throw her into too many fights that she can't win. Her skills and traits really revolve around her ganging up on enemy followers by using other models to surround the prey before she dashes in to tear them apart. Starting with her plot phase side, she has 2 actions she can take. Bark of the Moon allows her to move any friendly followers up to 2 hexes if they are within a 2 hex range of her. This is super useful for getting those slow moving followers across the board, and also helps to get them into position to surround your enemy so you can pounce in the clash phase. The Wolf is loose targets an enemy at up to range 3, and on a successful 6 dice hit, you can then move 2 hexes towards the target. This is great for moving you that little further forward towards your enemies. On her clash phase side, we see that extra speed will come in handy alongside the 2 actions here. Feral Bite is a range 1 attack, but you can target up to 3 models in a single hex, which you should definitely be trying to take full advantage of. It's a 6 accuracy to hit, and if successful, you will roll 4 damage dice. However, you remember that she likes to hunt in packs, right? Well, you gain 1 extra damage dice for each hex adjacent to the target enemy that contains 1 or more friendly followers. This means you could potentially be rolling an extra 5 damage dice, or 6 with a damage boon, meaning a total of 10 damage dice. Plus, don't forget, as a Maelstrom champion, each one of those kills is worth an extra bonus step on the ladder. Shatterstorm is her last action and is another attack, but this time at range 2. You must target up to 2 followers within range, but don't miss that they can be 2 in the same hex or 2 in different hexes, and it's only up to 2, so you could target only 1 if that's one that you really need to shift out of the way. This time you're only rolling 5 dice for accuracy, but again, if successful, you'll have 4 damage dice to start with, but gaining an extra damage die for each hex adjacent to the target enemy that contains 1 or more friendly followers. Don't forget, friendly followers are any followers for any champion that you control, and not just the followers of FENRA. Moving over to FENRA's traits and abilities, her ultimate skill is Call of the Hunt. This is an action that you can only use once per game, so as you can imagine, it's gonna be powerful. In this instance, you can move another model within a range of 3 hexes from you up to 3 hexes. Now this might not seem like much, but the range of 3, which is pretty far away, and being able to move at 3 hexes means that you can really move some of your friendly champions into game winning positions or out of game losing ones. The action has the gears symbol, so this does mean it's friendly models only, but I've been in many games where I've been scratching for a way to move a champion an extra 1 or 2 hexes to crush a banner, get them in range for an attack, or to get them out of range of an enemy's incoming attack. This will be useful with any mix of champions. Moving down the card, FENRA's trait is Pack Alpha. A trait is just something that's always active and doesn't need an action to use. In this instance, when FENRA knocks out an enemy follower, which you should be doing fairly often, she can move a friendly model within 3 hexes of her up to 1 hex. Now each model can only be moved once per activation using this trait, but this still has some serious power and is an always happening thing. Imagine using Feral Bite to take out 3 followers in 1 hex, and then being able to move 3 of your own models to surround your enemies for future attacks. It's worth noting that it states when FENRA knocks out an enemy follower, you can move a friendly model. So with Feral Bite, if you knock out the first follower, you can then move a friendly model, which may move them adjacent to your target, gaining you an extra damage die for the second and third attacks. You can also move FENRA using this trait, as she's classed as a friendly model and is at range 0, which is up to range 3. It's sneaky, but a good way to move her if you need to. Now moving on to her followers, the Chainless Curse. Like FENRA, they're slow moving in the plot phase at speed 1, picking up speed to 3 when it's time to attack in the clash phase. They have a high dodge number at 4, making them more difficult to hit. However, with a protection of 2 and only 1 health, if you can hit them, you shouldn't have too much worry about knocking them out. They do have a few tricks up their sleeves however. Makeshift plating gives them a protection boon, boosting them to protection 3. This might be useful early in the game before you get into any trouble. Corner them is a range 2 action to get a hit effect, which allows you to place each Chainless Curse within range of the target in a hex adjacent to it. Perfect for getting into position, ready for FENRA to come in and take advantage of that surrounding. They also have a trait called Gang Up, which means that whenever a Chainless Curse uses a skill targeting a small follower, it gains +3 accuracy dice if there are more followers in the Curse hex than the target hex. So when it comes to corner them, you could be rolling 9 dice to make sure you surround your enemy. Moving over to the clash phase side, the Curse still have the Gang Up trait, which means both of their attack actions can benefit from extra accuracy dice. First up is Snarl, a range 1 attack with a hit effect that allows you to move each follower model in the target's hex up to 1 hex. This means you can move your enemy followers either to clear a path for your champions or to bunch them up and surround them. Lastly, we have Maim and Encircle, which is another range 1 attack doing damage this time. It also has a hit effect that you can move a Chainless Curse up to 1 hex, so great to gang up for the attack, or maybe to help surround your enemy to let FENRA benefit. As you can see, this is a warband that likes to stick together, and it benefits with help from friendly followers too. I can see her working well with maybe Grimgut, Sneaky Pete, Skullbreaker, Wraith, or maybe Halftusk, all because they have plenty of flexible followers to help out, either by surrounding your enemies or by blocking escape paths so FENRA and the Curse can hunt them down. Downsides are her plot phase speed, which is going to be difficult for planting banners, especially in the first round, and also for getting into position for the clash phase. She'll take a little bit of work to get the best out of her, but I can really see her chomping through your enemy's followers and racking up those ladder points.